Hey, and welcome to Matt and Jess TV. I am Matt Rose.
And I'm Jessica Bun Bun.
Welcome to our new edition of Big Brother 27 live feed spoilers. We are a couple of days away from the next eviction in the Big Brother house before the mastermind does whatever other crazy thing that they have planned. But I know. But we really wanted to start this video off with a question, and it is about Kelley. And we're really curious to hear what you guys have to say about this. Is Kelley the worst player to ever make it to the jury in Big Brother? Because it feels more and more like there's a case for this.
Absolutely. I mean, for me, it feels like the only reason she's here is because she's been winning all these blockbusters. I mean, her social game is so bad, and her jury management is worse. Like, what is going on in the house right now? I don't understand what she's doing. It feels like she's actively trying to lose the game.
Yeah, I have no understanding as to what her strategy is, what she's thinking at any given moment. And we have an array of examples alone from the past 24 hours where, yeah, I mean, we think back to Big Brother history, and there is like all these classic people who are thought of as, oh, your goats for the end. Like, Victoria was a big one back in the day, and she didn't even end up making final two. But I just feel like when you look at Kelley's lack of strategy, lack of any sort of social awareness, I'm just sitting here and being like, and I know there's been agents of chaos that are like, can Kelley win the game? But it's just, I can't imagine how many people would ever want to vote for her given what we are seeing.
Yes, some of this is just so weird. Like, I didn't even ever think that we were going to be in here talking about bugs, but we are.
Yeah.
And it's not the normal, oh, the Big Brother house is infested with ants like every single summer. This is weird, different, and it doesn't make any sense. Again, it feels like Kelley is trying to torpedo her game.
Yeah, well, we're going to get into some of what Kelley is doing. We'll talk more of Keanu and Ashley, where the votes are heading into this upcoming eviction, a whole lot more.
Yeah.
But before we dive any further into any of this, be sure to hit that subscribe button because we are here every day with Big Brother 27 live feed updates. We have a really good time doing these, hearing what you guys have to say in the comments, and we continue to build up anticipation for the premiere of Survivor 49, which is just really right around the corner at this point.
It's so close. We're also going to be covering The Amazing Race. It's going to have Big Brother alumni on it. So hopefully you guys are going to be watching that along with us. So hit that subscribe button and stick with us. And if you do want to talk about Big Brother further with us, you can head over to our Patreon. I'll have a link for you below. Over there, we're having polls. We're having more chats. It's a fun time. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys. We really, really appreciate that. Okay, let's talk bugs. Once again, never thought we would be here, but okay. So over the past couple of days, Kelley has had these conversations with multiple people, including Keanu, Lauren, and Ava, that she likes bringing dead bugs into the house.
I don't understand what the enjoyment is, or if the enjoyment is making people feel uncomfortable with the environment that they're living in. I don't really understand what it is. And I'm not saying that there isn't, for some people, a fascination of bugs or looking into bugs or understanding bugs, but I like bringing dead bugs into the house. Okay, well, why is that? Oh, I'm going to hide them around the house and whoever finds them gets money. Then at that point, it's like, oh, what is happening? You really don't want to win.
It is so weird. Yeah, I mean, she has told both Ava and Lauren that she'll give them $1,000 if they can go and find all of these bugs. It's like, okay, think back to past seasons. Like, we've seen instances before of maybe some house guests have captured a live bug and it's sort of a pet or something like that for a little while. Like we
season 1 had a dog.
Yeah, and so it's like we have had a history of pets in the house, but the pets are alive. Like this is very, very different. And like, okay, there's a lot of different questions here. Like, is she sabotaging her game? Like, is she thinking, okay, nobody's ever going to vote for me to win, but I'm such a goat at the end that they'll bring me and I'll win second place? Like, I don't think that Kelley is thinking that far ahead.
I wasn't sure because what she's doing is so mind-boggling. I can't even collect my thoughts on it. I just don't understand it. She's not going to win the game. And I wonder if this is always why she's been like, oh, I'll just throw myself on the block over and over and over and over again. And now, she's openly spoken her mind about whatever. Oh, I see the game that you're doing. Like, she's so socially like over here compared to everybody else. I was like, is this just who you are? Or do you know you're not going to win?
Yeah.
So instead, you're trying to make yourself as unlikable as possible so that everyone will be like, oh, my final two is with Kelley for obvious reasons because no one's giving her the money. Because if that's what she's doing, and at the end of this, she just pulls off the mask and is like, it was me all along. I got you, and I'm here at the end. Give me my second place prize. Then, like, great.
I will give you a golf clap. I'm still not giving you a full round of applause because I don't like listening to you talk about bugs. Okay, and like, here's the other thing with it. We've talked a little bit about how Kelley and Lauren, that they've gotten a little bit closer.
Yep.
And so last night, Kelley decides that she wants to teach Lauren a little bit about, shall we say, the magical arts of the darker variety, if you will. And I'm just sitting here and being like, okay, you know, Kelley's talked about being into this before, so it's not like that
Right.
big of a surprise.
Right.
But just like, yeah, if you're Lauren, you want to go along with it, but it just continues to reinforce this idea that it's just like, you're so unbelievably strange, and like people just don't like being around you all that much.
And here's the other thing. Everybody has different spiritualities or religions and all of that, and that's great or whatever. But it's a little bit different at this point when Kelley's like, I'm going to teach you. It's sort of like, oh, does Lauren want to learn about this, about the spirituality? Do you know what she believes already? Like, you're in an environment that is hard to say no.
Yeah.
So I've always kind of felt like it's a bit uncomfortable to be kind of pushing a spirituality or a religion on somebody else in this environment, because it is difficult to say no. You are all playing for a large sum of money, and you can't really say no to anybody about anything.
I think the real judge of everything is watch Kelley have these conversations and then watch the facial reaction of the person she's having them to, where it's
Right.
just like you can always sense a little bit of that discomfort. And here is where I will give more support to your guy Vince here, because Vince is now so anti-Kelley and just wanting Kelley out so bad. I think for her weirdness and also him knowing that Kelley's always going to be coming after him now.
Yeah, I mean, Vince, like, she's trying to get you out.
Yeah, like I fully support you in this quest, Vince. I may not agree with everything you do, but I agree with this wholeheartedly.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I just would be out on the bugs. I don't love bugs in general,
No.
but like, if you're purposefully bringing them in and hiding them around the house, I mean, like, why are you doing this? You're just being a creep show. It's why my tinfoil hat is
Yeah.
she's going for second place. She's trying to be the most like unlikable, undesirable person in this house so that people will bring her to second place. She will have that title, she will have that money, and that will be it.
If she wins this game, I don't even know what I'm gonna do with
She's not
myself.
winning. There's
I'm
no
gonna
way.
have to just do videos with a bag over my head. Like I don't know.
She's not there's no way she is winning this game. I mean, her social game is
Yeah.
so bad.
Okay, well, let's get into just briefly here the house divisions, because like over the past 24 hours, we've gotten an even better sense of sort of where things are currently forming. Like, as we said, for strategic reasons, not so much for spirituality reasons. Kelley and Lauren, they're getting closer.
Yep.
Ava's kind of a part of this as well. Yeah, we know that Lauren is still close to Vince. There's a little bit of trust issues there. We know that Ava and Will still have
Yep.
a little bit of something, but at the same time, there's more distance there than there once was.
Absolutely.
So we've got like that group of people, and then we have the judges, which is the most stable, unstable alliance out there, where it's still kind of going, even though it's clear that, you know, the Ashley and Will side of it, they don't fully have all of this trust in, you know, Vince, and Vince doesn't have all this trust in Ashley. And it's so like there's still a little bit of tension that is there within that as well.
Yeah, I mean, the judges are really the only alliance that kind of sort of was working somewhat functionally this season for a little bit.
Yeah.
But it's been nice, I'm not going to lie, to have a season where there really isn't any big alliance rolling over anybody.
That is the best thing about this season right now. We all know what the worst thing about it is.
Yeah, we do.
That is for sure the best. But let's continue to be on the positive here for a moment, because yesterday we spoke about the dream alliance that is Ashley and Keanu, and like how
Mhm.
entertaining and how great it would be if this ever ends up working.
Yeah.
The downside to all of this is that the odds are very high that this is an alliance that's only going to last a couple of days, because there's just not many scenarios where it really feels like both of them are making it through this week.
I I know it's breaking my heart to think this, but it does feel like we're gonna lose one of them.
Yeah, but it's because it's like based on the conversations that happened today, like this afternoon,
Yeah.
it feels more and more clear to me that, okay, Keanu really actually believes in this. And he kind of feels like, despite whatever their past may be, that they never had that many conversations, they kind of need each other. Like they had this talk about how Will is basically in his own sort of position, not like Kelley, but where he can get brought to the end for a long time because, he doesn't have any comp wins, he doesn't have any big strategic moves, and they're
Right.
both in agreement that it's like, we don't want this, because if Will's going very, very far, people are going to get rid of us instead of get rid of Will. It's just
Right.
logically that makes a lot of sense.
Absolutely. At this point in the game, the people that are like Kelley, where it's like, oh, anybody can beat her, man, you need to get her out. And it's the same with Will at this point. He really doesn't have enough to win this game.
No.
I'd be looking at maybe bringing Will or a Kelley to the end. Kelley for sure.
Yeah. And they had this other idea they talked about. This is actually pretty brilliant. Like, I don't know if it's going to matter or not, but it's this whole idea that if Will goes on Lauren's HOH, like, yeah, she may try to shirk some responsibility for it and be like, I didn't have anything to do with this, but they feel like Ava may be really mad at Lauren because they know how close Ava is to Will. So it's like, okay, if Will goes, this may also mean we're breaking up some other numbers to some extent here as well.
Yeah.
It's so fun just to hear them talk with some element of confidence about all of this.
Oh man, I know it's not going to end up working out long term, but I really hope that it does continue on. They kind of do need each other, and
They
if
do.
if they could just continue to be honest with each other and stick with each other, they really could make it to the end.
Here are the problems, and unfortunately, there are a couple of pretty big problems.
I know.
One of them is Vince, and it's just this continued idea that Keanu's counting on him as a number to stay around, and that's not how things are going to work with Vince. Like, that part of it's going to fall apart. Like, there is this other component where they have talked a lot about this idea where it's like, okay, we're going to deprive Lauren of getting out a big target, and then she's just going to have Will on her resume, and then she's not going to be able to win at the end of it. I'm just sitting back and then thinking like, okay, Keanu and Ashley, like, I'm for a lot of what you're saying, but if your argument here is you're going to make Lauren into someone who can't win the game, you're basically doing what your perception already is of Will, and you're just kind of changing out the person.
Yes, you absolutely are, except that the person then that you're bringing to the end has 2 HOH wins.
Yeah, like that part of it is just a problem. I love watching you guys talk. I think this is just ultimately an alliance of what could have been, that if just a few things had gone differently earlier in the game, like I
Yeah.
think this could have worked out because they both really care, and I think they're both
Yeah.
very aware at this point. Like, I think Keanu wakes up every day now and is just like, what would Rachel want me to do? Sort of like, it's that's his spirit guide, and it's emotional. It's kind of sweet and touching at the same point.
It is. Those two are going to be friends for life. I feel it.
I really, really hope. I'm going to be heartbroken if they don't, to be honest. I
know.
really feel like it. Like, I do still have this question, as fun as all of this is, that's just like, is Ashley really buying into this at all? Like, I think Keanu is, like, but Ashley naturally has been close to Will a really long
Yep,
time.
yes.
Like, I wouldn't be surprised if her whole vantage point on all of this is just, I want to get on Keanu's good side. In the event we both do stay, like, I would rather Will stay, but it's just like, there's no point in trying to make Keanu upset at this point. Like, what good does that do me?
Absolutely. She is doing the right thing in keeping both of these men happy and
Yeah.
working with them. And, if she's not the one that ends up going, whichever one is left, she is able to work with. And I really, Team 50, he seems like a nice person,
Yeah.
but it's time for him to go.
Yeah, it is. And I also feel like, and Will hasn't campaigned very much, and I'm still frustrated by that.
But it is Tuesday night.
Yes.
It is more than time. If you are not campaigning, then you don't want to be here enough. Like,
Yeah.
it's not good enough.
My tinfoil hat on this with Will is, I think, He's hurt, like he's injured himself apparently in BB Comics. I think he's a prideful guy, and I think he doesn't want to go out there and beg for votes. I also think he doesn't want to have that sentiment in his head that he's being drug along to the end. And it's just like, I get all that, but even if you are hurt physically and you have limitations, it's still like there are other ways to win this game. You can still really make a big effort here.
Absolutely. You can win this game socially and you can
Yes.
make big moves strategically. You don't have to beg for votes, but you can trade information. You can strategically land these votes another way. You can run the bus over other people. You don't have to go about it that way. And just seeing him do nothing and not talk to anybody, like, it is such a disappointment.
It is a disappointment. And so one of the things that Keanu mentioned here to Ashley is just that, you know what, Ashley, I'm still going to throw your name out there here or there because I don't want people to think we're working that close together, which, on paper makes sense. The real thing Keanu needs to make sure he does not do not, Keanu, my guy, don't go running around saying you want Ashley to stay because you are basically the kiss of death for players at this point.
I know he really just needs to say nothing. Like,
Yes.
no one's really going to think that these two are working together after the huge blow up.
Yeah.
Just don't say anything. Just don't get caught talking together for long periods of time. It'll
Yeah.
be okay. You don't need to throw anybody's name out there.
Yeah. Okay. Here's the biggest reason why I believe Keanu's meaning some of what he's saying to Ashley.
I
So
think he does.
he told Morgan last night, he was just like, Morgan, while I've targeted you before, I'm not going to do that anymore because, we both still have this common target in the game now. And Lauren, we can work together. Like, it was a kind of compelling pitch at the moment. He then tells to Ashley that he did make this pitch. So he's made it clear to Ashley some of what he has said,
Yep.
but also that, I would still nominate Morgan. She just wouldn't be my target. So he's basically admitted to Ashley now that, all right, I've told some white lies to other players. I don't think you're going to say this unless you're either really delusional, which, to be fair, Keanu has been at times, or you actually trust that this might end up being something.
Yeah, it feels like he's trying to put trust in her to show that he's really there and he really wants this to work.
Okay, so let's now shift into a little bit of where the votes are, but then also where is Morgan? Because Morgan heard this pitch from Keanu, which she thought was kind of compelling in the moment, but it's like, okay, is this compelling enough to make her to want to get rid of one of her fellow judges?
Yeah, I know. It's tough. I mean, the thing is that she really does want Lauren out.
Yes.
But as I said in our update yesterday, I think she wants it to be Vince, that she wants Vince to actually pick her over Lauren, choose her, and that's what she wants.
And your argument is reinforced by what Morgan told Vince, which is basically just that it was a good pitch, but it's not good enough. Like, I'm still going to keep Will. I'm still going to keep Ash. Like, she doesn't want, like you're saying, somebody else to really get the credit for going after Lauren
No.
at this particular point. Like, she wants Vince to do it. And I
Yes.
think beyond all of that, she also wants to be in a position where here are these other people that she's worked for a good period of time. And I think Morgan, in the back of her head, and we'll get more into it. Like, there's obviously a lot has been said about her closeness to Vince and all of that. But I still think Morgan, somewhere in her head, knows that, okay, the other judges, they're gonna choose me over Vince any day of the week if push comes to shove. So it's just like, why am I gonna do something to disrupt that at this particular point?
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense for her.
So Morgan continues to apply a little bit of pressure here. We talked a little bit about this yesterday that,
Yep.
okay, she's starting to have conversations with Vince about where some of the votes are falling, but not too long before coming on here and starting this recording, she basically made it fully transparent to Vince. She was like, okay, Keanu, he's voting this way. He's voting to keep Ashley in the game. I want to vote to keep Ashley in the game. Vince, we are the swing votes. We are going to be the ones who control everything. And that was something that Vince was not happy to hear at all.
I'm sure he wasn't. He really does like to try to ride the middle and make everybody think that he's on everybody's side.
Yeah, like he's really trying to just be like, okay, I don't want to make Lauren mad with anything like this. And I think Lauren would rather Ashley go at this point. And,
Yep.
the closeness between Ava and Will as well documents like, okay, if Vince wants to try to build anything at all fault with Ava, like keeping Will is a good way in which to do it.
Yep.
I feel like Vince is not going to budge on this. Like, I think Morgan may push it a lot. I think probably Wednesday night or Thursday, he's just going to come clean to her and just be like, you know what? If we do end up in a situation, which is likely, where Keanu wins the blockbuster, I'm voting to get rid of Ashley. I'm sorry, that's just going to be the way that it goes.
I would love to see him actually be honest about it, because he, like, as much as I like Vince and I think that Vince is playing a really good game, he has been playing a Weasley game, and I'm fine with that. I've seen that before. I mean, it works, right? And for me, he is the best player in this game. And one of the ways that he's been able to do that is to just tell everybody what they want to hear.
Yeah, and at this point, I just feel like, okay, Vince, with Morgan, you might have to be just a little bit honest. Like, you might.
He should.
Yes.
But I don't know if
like,
he will.
she's already mad at you because of the whole chain of safety thing, dude. It's just like, at what point do you reach your limit? And I would like to think that Vince would have learned his lesson at this point, because clearly he reached his limit with Kelley. It seems like to some extent he's reached a limit with Keanu, though I think Keanu's always going to still run back to him to a certain degree.
I think, absolutely he will.
Yeah, so, they've had all these different conversations about what's going on here in the vote, but at the same time, Kelley has also went ahead and informed Lauren and was just like, oh, by the way, there are already conversations happening about, maybe Ashley could be taken out. Maybe it's going to be Will. Not everything might go according to plan here.
Yeah.
Kelley also did say, though, that at some point, whether it be this week or next, she is going to blindside Keanu. So it's just like, Keanu, you're going to be going regardless if you don't win Blockbuster, but you're not even going to get Kelley at this point.
I know. It feels like he is going to be going in short order. It breaks my heart to say that. He's been so messy and so fun to watch this season.
Yes.
I mean, it's going to be a tough one to lose. He's been such good feeds.
He has been really, really good feeds. He's been endlessly entertaining, and it's just like, it's fine to watch someone be delusional if they're fun while they're delusional. Like, I don't always care if you're a good player, but here's like the real comparison between Keanu and then Kelley, because Kelley said this thing this afternoon to Lauren where she was basically like, Rachel babied Ashley through a lot of this game, and Ashley never really made that many moves on her own. She never really played her own game, so I want to make sure she never gets her chance to play her own game. And then, like, the feeds cut off her immediately after she said that.
It's so ridiculous. Like, that seems to be the perception of anybody who works with Rachel.
Yes.
Or really anybody who works with any veterans in the game any season. And that's an unfair thing to say. I mean, like, yeah, sure, in some cases people can be influenced.
Yeah.
Absolutely, that can be a thing. I just think that there was a natural friendship here with Ashley and Rachel, and I feel like Ashley has still been playing her own game.
Yeah, I think Ashley's very, very smart. Like, yeah, her reads have been off sometimes, but everyone's reads in this game have been off sometimes.
It's a weird season.
Yeah, like Ashley's in the top half of players this season to me, just when it comes to her knowledge of the game and what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
So if we're continuing the campaign here, good on you, Keanu, because unlike Will, you are still fighting. You went and you campaigned Ava, who I'm sure even in your delusional heart, you knew with every fabric of your being you were never going to get her vote.
No, but I love players that will always go and campaign to everyone, even if you know you're not going to get that vote, because you never know. I mean, even if just a good conversation comes out of it and you end up staying another way, that could be the start of something. I love that he did this. It is so great.
And I have a lot of issues with Ava at this point, and we've made those clear. But there are two things that Ava did in this conversation that I did like. I appreciate that she was honest with Keanu, was just like, you know what? I'm going to be voting to save Will. But she also said this other thing where she's like, Keanu, if I'm being really honest, you're not the number one person who I would want to see leave the house. She didn't necessarily say, like, of the people on the block or not, but she was just sort of like, you know what, Keanu, you're not number one on my list. And I don't know if that is like I want your jury vote thing if you get to the end or not. But I was just like, okay, Ava, like, I see you doing something that's at least interesting.
Yeah, I guess so. I think I've just fallen off so much on her at this point.
I know. Ava and Kelley both, like, just on a personal level, I don't like the way they talk about other people, especially Rachel. Like, all of it is totally unneeded.
Yeah.
Okay, so the last thing before we go here, this is a game-related discussion about Vince and Morgan. We don't really want to get into everything that's going on in the outside world about their, their relationship and all of that.
No, we're here just to talk about the game.
But what is interesting is that last night Morgan talked about how she's being asked questions in the diary room about her relationship with Vince. And, the diary room, they're not going to ask these questions because this is something that people on the outside world are talking about. Like, they're asking these questions because this is something other players in the house are talking about. And so if you're astute enough as a player, you should view something like that as oh no, everyone thinks that maybe something is going on. Like, that tells me that they're all aware that we spend all of this time together. We need to try to disperse a little bit. And if there is one huge mistake in both of their games right now, it's just that they're not heeding what is obvious advice now coming from the diary room that, okay, people are thinking this about us. They're going to put the two of us up together if the blockbuster's over. If not, it's just like, we are always going to be tethered to each other.
And if it's not necessarily even from other people in the house, their production is watching you. They are cutting together edits for the show.
Yes.
They love showmances. They love to push showmances.
Yes.
So if they're there asking you questions, basically be like, so what's going on with you and Vince? Anything happening there? Anything? I would be concerned then at that point that that's going on the show.
Yeah.
On top of, are people in the house asking about that? People noticing? Clearly production is noticing because they're asking me about it.
Yeah.
So instead of coming out later and Morgan just being like, I don't know why they would be asking that. We're just friends. It's just like, okay, you really need to take a look at yourself and take a look at why production is asking you why you are having 5-minute hugs and cuddling in bed together. That's not what friends do.
Yes, it's just, you can't just deflect this away. It's if you're thinking, regardless of the outside stuff, if you're thinking specifically just of your game, you should know that being perceived in that way is a huge problem.
Yes.
And I know they think at times that they strategize more than everyone. And I know not everybody in this game is just like a mastermind, not to bring the mastermind back up here, but it's just like, you have to be aware that, okay, people are at least going to think of you in a way that is bad now.
Yeah, people are going to think of you as a duo. And I mean, they do already, but it was very interesting to see her kind of just be like, I don't know why anyone we're just friends. It's like, okay, all right. Sure.
All right. Well, that is where we are with this edition of Big Brother 27 live feed spoilers, but let us know, like we said at the start of this video, is Kelley playing the worst game of anyone to ever make the jury? If not, who do you think is? Be sure to share and also hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any more daily Big Brother live feed updates. Support us further by joining our Patreon. That link is in the description. Thank you so much for your support. We will see you here next time.